Morning, friends. It's Heather at Bush Poppy Farm. I'm trying to gather some stuff that we forgot to bring out to the farm. Mike and Dylan are already out there. Forgot to bring our saw, which we really need to make these beds, and a handful of other things. So I'm going to gather all those up, and then we'll go out and get started on building these new raised beds. Okay, let's hope that I've got everything. I've got a bad attitude today. Didn't sleep much last night, having tummy troubles, just don't feel that great, but this is our one nice day of weather, so I feel like we gotta get it done. It's actually not a huge project. Shouldn't take too long as we have everything. And of course, we left a bunch of stuff that we needed at home, like the saw and sawhorses that you just heard banging around in the back, and staples for the staple gun. Dylan wanted his hiking boots because, yeah, it's pretty nasty out there, and right now he's just wearing sneakers. That's not going to suffice. I'm going to get us out there, and then we're going to get started on tilling. I think I think Mike and Dylan are starting on building the beds, and again, we're using scrap lumber, so it's going to be, kind of piecemeal and, putting things together the best we can. And I'm going to be focusing on trying to level the area that we're going to need to put these beds on. There's quite a hump of a hill in one spot, but also that area has been very tunneled through with rodents. And when we pulled the silage tarp back, there were lots of scared rodents flying. So that soil actually might be pretty soft and easy to till. The rest of it's going to be a little challenging because it is, again, our dry season. So that soil under there hasn't seen water in 6 months. It's hard, dry, and cracked. But the only reason I'm tilling is to, level the ground. So I'll till the uphill side. We will pull down the soil and try to make it as level a surface as possible. We're going to have a nice, hopefully, the plan is a nice wide pathway so that we can get a wheelbarrow up and down in between the dahlia bed and the new raised beds. And I can build more on that hillside, but I think it's going to be a real challenge. I think where we're building right now, we're going to put 2 8-foot beds in. I think that's about as high up the hill as we can go in that spot. I think it's just going to be too steep and too hard to dig into, and without risking erosion and stuff causing problems. So, but it's all good. We have enough wood that we could even enclose the dahlia bed with it, which I think I'm going to do that when I take it apart to reset it so that I can get those tubers into a safe place over the winter. All right, I'm going to focus on the road. Country road, as you can see, it's very bumpy and very windy. So I'm going to focus on the road, pick you back up when we get back out to the farm. So you can see things went differently today than I had expected, but it's all good. In order to make this area as level as possible, including the pathway, we had to build a retaining wall, which is totally fine. It was easy and we have the materials. The only thing we had to get was the rebar. And I'm going to be able to fit 2 8-foot long beds with a walkway in between down the center here. And then there'll be pathways on either side for me to work. And then this is a wide pathway for getting a wheelbarrow and stuff all the way down to the other beds at the end. So it's looking really good. It was a lot of work, as you could see on the time lapse. And so we have not had time to build the beds. That will be another day, but that's fine. I don't need them right now. And Dylan was smart enough to say, hey, we should put a wood barrier up against the dahlia bed because we're going to be leveling this and it's going to be higher. And when you go to excavate the dahlia bed to fix it, you don't want it, you know, to have to excavate out an edge. So that was good forethought. So looking forward to getting those beds up. And the soil, look how beautiful and black it is. I mean, it's actually really great soil for growing, but as you know, growing in the ground out here, gophers and mice and rats. And so this will be protected space, 2 8x4 by 12, I think, 16 by 16 height growing beds that have 1/4 inch hardware cloth on the bottom. And that's protected growing space. So it's prime real estate. And especially after all the work that we put into this, that's also prime real estate. So that will be for crops that the rodents just do not leave alone. Now I have way too many ranunculus to put in these 2 beds. They have to go in the in-ground beds, and the ranunculus were definitely predated upon a lot last year. But I'm gonna have 2 40-foot beds of ranunculus and 1 of these 8x4-foot beds of ranunculus. And so if all of those, God forbid, get completely destroyed, then I still have reserve that's protected. So that's kind of how I'm playing it based on what I've learned from what they like to eat and what they don't seem to really bother. Like Lisianthus, they didn't really bother, which is crazy to me, but okay, I'll take it. Yeah, so most of the flowers that are left in the fields are the ones that they just really didn't go after at all. And that's what's going to keep going in field rotation. And I'll continue to build out protected space over time. We'll probably just extend this whole upper bed over time, make it level. And so we can have multiple beds along here, and there's already an irrigation tube at the top on the fence, so we just have to pull irrigation off of that, which makes it nice and easy. So I think it's a nice, neat job, and considering we did it all by hand, we're very pleased with it. Now, just like all my other pathways are going to be, this one will get covered with cardboard and wood chips eventually, to keep down the weeds, because I definitely don't want to be battling them all through here. So that's going to be it. I know with the time lapse, it's a short video, even though we've been out here working for about 6 hours. But hopefully you enjoyed that build, and I'll come back when we do the beds. I don't know if it'll be this weekend because we've got all kinds of stuff going on. It's a holiday weekend in the United States. So for those of you guys who celebrate Labor Day, enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you next week after the holidays and get more work done out here. Thanks so much. I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.